Has anybody else been cycling around Florence while you've been here? On a bicycle, anyone? Just me then. Yeah, okay. I've got a massive bruise on my arse for driving too fast down all the really cobbly streets. No, the hotels tend to have them that were just given to you, yeah. Come up, come up, come up. There's loads of room, especially at the front. Okay. Just so everyone's confused, this is the TDD workshop, not the twisted workshop. TDD, Django, Selenium. For example, there, also in the middle there, also in the middle there. Alright guys, so the room's kind of filled up a bit. In my experience, this talk doesn't really work if you've got more than about 15 people trying to do it at the same time. So I want to make sure that everyone gets through all the material, and if I have to run around 30 people sort of fixing all the little problems, we're not going to get through it. So what I like to do in these situations is have people do a bit of pair programming and share. So what I'd like to do is just have one computer per desk, okay? And so each desk is going to work as a team. And that will also mean that there'll be some beginners and some more advanced people, and you can all help each other out. Okay? Okay? So you'll have to sort of nominate one person from each table to use their computer. There you go. And you can... You guys okay with that? Yeah? Oh yeah? Well, you could also, I mean, you should all swap computers during it, and one person should type and the other people should look. It's like real pair programming. We'll do a bit of a pair programming exercise, which is good practice for everyone as well. Ah, forse sono io che... Povero Paolo, non stressare, che ci sono problemi. Okay, so has every desk nominated one person? Who's on this desk? Let's get whose computer is it? Okay, you can close the other one. Ding, 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 just to encourage. And make sure you're swap typing. You've agreed on an editor to use that you can both use and swap around. There you go. Now, at the end of the talk, all the materials from this talk are up on the internet, and so if you want to make sure you can do it on your own computer in the future, you can do it this evening or something, go home, and if you have any troubles with installing any of the software, I'm around for the rest of the week, so just come and find me and say, hey Harry, I know we did it in class, I managed to get it working, but on my laptop it doesn't work, so I'm here to help with that. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. You guys okay? You've chosen one computer? Okay, fine. So like I say, if you ever have any problems trying to do it yourself, I'm here all week. You guys chosen one person? Okay. Have you agreed on an editor you can use or swap around and things like that, or an operating system that everyone likes? Yeah? Okay, you're using the middle one? Okay. Good stuff. Okay. Have you guys agreed on whose computer it's going to be? Okay. Good one. Doodle-doo-doo. Are you okay? Sharing one computer, have you decided whose it's going to be? Yeah, so it's one computer per desk. Decide which one. Sit next to each other. Yeah? Sit next to each other, get nice and close, and it'll be much better for the talk anyway, because you can help each other out, ask each other questions. Okay. Have you guys decided whose computer it is? Looks like it. Okay, you alright with that? Yeah, I will. Okay, we'll do that at the beginning. Oh, okay, now we're popular. Look at this. All right, everyone explain to the new arrivals, one computer per desk. Have you guys decided whose computer it's going to be back here?
This is some stuff, so...
Oh, okay. Tu lo fai il tutorial? No. No, my bad. So you're on your own? Okay. If you're looking for a seat, there's one here. Go for it. Sit here because I'm making people pair program. Ti prendo la sedia, però. Vabbè. Okay, so you can have this space here, and we're sharing computers, so one computer per desk. All right, have you guys decided who's gonna do the typing? It's best if it's the person in the middle, so if you want to swap round, swap round. It's one computer per desk, because we can't manage it with everyone doing it all at the same time. So I'm having a little pair programming, so you guys are going to work as a little team here. So just decide which computer you're going to go for. You guys have decided? The guy in the middle, that's the sensible, logical decision, well done. Have you agreed on an operating system and an editor that everyone likes? Oh, dearie me, really? Nightmare.
Oh, you really do? It's okay, because I use this as Dvorak layout, so none of those match the keys that I have.
Stop trying to deliberately screw over your teammates, okay?
Yeah, no idea how hard programming questions are. So we're going to sit you at this anonymous computer, so you should tell you something.
Okay. All right, have you guys chosen one computer that's going to be doing this? The middle one. You're happy with the operating system and the editors on there? You can all work together? It's okay? Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. All right, and have you guys chosen whose computer is going to be working on this? The one in the middle, that's very logical, well done. Okay. Hello. Yeah. It should be fine, yeah. I've actually, this is not up to, I usually use pip install, it's fine. Okay. Let me give you a different color scheme then. Let's see, dink, dink, boring, boring. That'll do. How about that? No, that's awful. Okay, guys, if everyone's comfortable, should we make a start? Everyone say yes. All right, good. Who am I? My name is Harry Percival. I'm sorry that's not written on the screen. My little tweets are HJWP. I spent all my time doing this talk in Italian yesterday morning, so I've updated those notes and not these ones. So, Harry Percival, I work for a company called, or I work for PythonAnywhere.com, you might remember that. And my story is that I kind of got into programming quite recently, about 5 years ago. I did a master's in computer science as a sort of way of retraining and changing careers. I used to be a management consultant before that, and that was awful. Now I'm a programmer. I'm much happier, of course. My story about test-driven development, I guess, is that I did my sort of degree, a couple of years, and then I did my first project, which was a sort of Django web app. And the way I learned Python is I learned it from the Dive into Python book. Who else read that? Who else used that as their way of learning Python? A few people. So great book, right? And I read through it, and sort of about chapter 8 is the chapter on test-driven development. And he goes, look, this is the way you should code, TDD, blah, blah, blah. It's got that Roman numerals example. And I read that and I went, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I really like the idea of that. And I got to my first project, and I went, well, I don't really have time for it, though. So I'm going to go and code normally. And it was fine. I mean, it is fine. And so I made my little project, and I got going, and it was working, and I didn't need any testing, because I could just go on the website and check whether it all worked. So that was fine at first. But then obviously, and probably everyone's got this story, is as your project gets bigger and bigger, and so I went on for about 18 months. At first it was easy, if you want to buy a new piece of functionality, well, your website's there, it's working, you code a new piece of functionality, you go on the website to check it was working, fine. You want to change an existing bit of functionality, well, you go and find the bit of code that manages that bit of functionality, you change it, you check the website still, that part of the website still works, and you're fine. At first, until everything starts to depend on everything else, which it eventually will happen with any kind of complex website. And then you get into the situation where you're like, well, I would like to change that class over there, and I'd like to refactor it because I made it 18 months ago and I didn't know what I was doing. But I'm kind of scared now because I know that if I change it, loads of bits of the website might break. I don't know which. I can't test them all. The website's too big and I can't check everything. So I guess I'm just scared. So I'm not going to change that. And as a result, I can't ever refactor my code. It's a big, ugly mess. Adding new stuff is a pain. And basically just complexity made me its bitch. So shortly after that happened, I got a job with Resolver Systems. And they're a kind of extreme programming shop. Anyone know what extreme programming is? Fantastic. So there we go, pair programming, which was great for me because I got to learn from loads of really good people and learn as fast as you possibly can by asking someone questions all the why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? What are you doing? Also, they did test-driven development. And so what I want to say is please believe me when I say that every single step of the way to test-driven development, I complained about it, and I said, really? I mean, come on. I mean, I sort of get the idea, but do we really have to bother with a test for this? I mean, that seems a bit extreme. What? Unit tests as well as functional tests? Oh, come on. You're just testing the properties of the classes. That's just a waste of time. Let's just get on with doing some code. And then we go, no, Harry, come on. This is how we do it. And so I sort of dragged kicking and screaming into the world of test-driven development, and I've been doing it now for like sort of about 2-3 years. And I can say that I'm fully converted, you know, like I can really see the benefits of that. I've seen the quality of code that we all make at work, and the fact that whenever you want to refactor something, you just go, right, let's go, refactor. And you never need to worry that your application's broken, because if you want to find out if your application works, you just go run tests. If they all pass, your application works. Of course, our tests take about 8 hours to all run, but that's what continuous regression is for, and we're not going to write any tests that are going to take 8 hours today. That's my little TDD story. How about that? Okay. So how about you guys then? I was going to ask, is anyone very new to Python programming? A newbie? Hello, okay. Anyone sort of never used Django, has no experience with Django? Okay. But so most of you have used Django, is that right? Okay. Who has used Django? And I think that is actually 100% in total. All right. Who's done some test-driven development before? Okay, so that's quite a lot. You guys can just go home. This is for beginners, huh? Okay, very good. And then finally, who's used selenium? Has anyone used selenium? What, once? All right, you guys can definitely go, oh, Selenium 1. Oh, jeebus. Okay, all right. Jeez, I even hate Selenium, whatever the last release was. Okay. Fine. Who's the new guy at the back there? Have you found yourself a space? You're okay? Yeah, so what we're doing is we're having one computer per table and doing pair programming. So try and find yourself a table with just 2 people on. Sit there and share with whoever's on it. Is there a space here? No. Yeah? Is there a space next to you guys? Okay, and there's maybe a space up the front here. Yeah. So come along and sit up the front. Very good. So that's quite a few people have used Selenium, and some people not at all. Some people don't know what TDD is. In general, this talk is aimed at beginners, so I'm taking this from absolutely the ground level up, step by step by step. And so people... No? So if you're a real beginner, you shouldn't worry about it. We're going at your speed. In general, with this talk, my rule is we go at the speed of the slowest person, or of the slowest desk. And I want to make sure that absolutely everyone gets through all of it, understands it all. So make sure you ask questions and so on. Couple of questions. Is anyone using an IDE or anything like that? Because I tend to find they're sort of more pain than they're worth. Yeah, exactly. So is that desk at the back, are you guys using an IDE? Yeah? For today? Whose computer is doing the training today at the back? Okay, so there's some lack of communication over there. All right. An IDE like, yeah. Which computer is doing the talk today? And what editor are you using? Okay. Who's driving it? Okay. All right, fine. As long as you're real comfortable with it and you're not like a beginner and you've just sort of downloaded Eclipse because you think it'll help, which it wouldn't. Okay, cool. All right, that's fine. Okay, so the plan for today then, and the general idea of this tutorial, I've written it online as well, and I do the workshop version, is that we go through the official Django tutorial. Who's done the official Django tutorial? Who's a bit hungover from last night's dinner? Yeah, okay. So the official Django tutorial is we're going to go through that, exactly the same steps, except that every single step we're going to do test-driven development. So we're going to do tests first. We're going to say whatever the Django tutorial wants to do, we're going to first write a test, and then we're going to write the code that implements it. Hooray! And so the general overview is that for the first part of the workshop, we're basically going to set up the admin app and models and get the database configured and make sure Django is working, write a first functional test and some first unit tests, but it's all going to be sort of admin site stuff. Then I think we'll probably get to the break, and then we're going to skip straight to part 3. And in part 3, we're going to make the user visible part of the site. So instead of the admin views, we're going to make like the real. stuff in my pocket. Huh?
It's inside.
Yeah, you'd think it would be impossible.
Battery maybe?
It could be, yeah.
I go to the back.
Okay. Ding, ding, ding. Very good. All right, hands up. Who's got the it worked? Yes, well done. Well done. Du, du, du. Okay. All right. You're going to have to show me. Show me the it worked. Not yet? Okay. Okay. Did it work? Show me the page. Yes, it worked. Well done, you guys. Can you show me an it worked? Not quite there yet. So you have done something more advanced than me. Well, show me your directory. Are you? So you're in the checkout, yeah? Okay. So if you get ST.
I'm here. It's your workshop. I go here, my site.
Yeah. Okay. So you're. We need to check out a branch as part of the repo, and the branch is called workshop_part1. So that'll be fine.
I need to go here.
Just get checkout workshop_part1. It's too far in the history for you to find it.
I need to go to the other branch or not?
Yes.
In what branch?
So the branch is called workshop_part1.
Okay, I will.
Seriously, just do the command line. It'll be fine. Get checkout. Yeah. Workshop_part1.
Underscore.
Yes. Let's try that. Diddly-dee. Okay. Okay. So what you could probably do is do a git reset -- hard and then redo that last command. Yeah, do a git reset -- hard because it's got a bunch of local changes that it's getting confused about. So if you git reset hard, git checkout workshop_part1, and we'll start again. Okay. And then that'll do it. Well, don't do git pull, do git checkout of the same. And then don't do git pull, git checkout workshop_part1. Because it's trying to merge it with master, which is going to close the command. Okay, so okay, and so then git checkout workshop_ or git reset hard is a good idea. Part 1. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Tell you what. Don't worry about the git for now. Change into a temp folder and start from scratch, and we'll do the git in the break. I'll help you. It's not important actually for now, the git folder, so it'll be fine. So just pick any folder in /temp, and yeah. Okay. So who else can show me the it worked? Have you got it worked? Show me. I don't believe you. Okay. Have you got it worked? It worked. Have you got it worked? Whose computer is here? It worked. Okay, fantastic. And it worked? It worked. Okay, great. I need to get through. Fuck, man. Okay. Ta-da. It worked? It worked. It worked? It worked. That's not just a picture you've downloaded off the internet of it saying it worked. That's the real thing, right? Okay. Does it work? It worked. Good lad. What about over here? It worked. Okay, great. How about here? It worked? It worked. How about over here? It worked? Should prove it. That's better. Okay, fantastic. Ding, ding, ding. Exactly. Well, I've checked that. I've got spies. And you girls, got there first. Okay. Da, da, da. Fantastic. Diddly-doop, diddly-doop.
What should we do for the internet to run plugging in the cable?
I don't know. I've never tried with a cable, but I should imagine it just works. Did you change them?
No, because I stick to
Okay. I don't know. Okay, and you guys, have you got that? You're okay? Yeah? Promise? Okay. Yeah. Show me, show me. Come on, I want to see the error message of oh, have you been, oh, because you're steaming on ahead, you little cheaters. Okay, good for you. All right, okay, so let's move on. So, let's see, Control Z. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. You got Firefox on there? Yeah. Okay. And is it the latest version of Selenium for sure? Is it the latest version of Selenium? Okay, so the latest Selenium is like 1.20 or no, 2.20. We don't use Selenium IDE, so I don't know about that. So just have a look. If you do a pip freeze on your laptop and then how do we check the version of Selenium? Just do a of Selenium is the most important thing. So let's check that, and Firefox actually. So if you were to, if you go pip install -- upgrade Selenium, it'll just try and pull down the latest version. -- Yeah. That might fix it. Okay. No, it reckons it's got the latest version. And GTK message to PK GTK add-ons. Damn. And have you got it at all on yours? You haven't?
I have to go through the internet.
Oh, okay.
I will try to understand what's happening.
Okay, that's a shame. Have you guys got it working on these ones? Okay. Shit. So I'm not too sure about that. So let's try it again. Creating test database, and then it does that. So wonder what this PK GTK module thing is. You could try. So maybe we kind of need to install that or something. Maybe if you yeah, you could Google that as an error message. Sort of Google Selenium failed to load module PK GTK module, and we'll see if you can catch up later. Ding ding ding. Okay, so let's see if we can fix that. So what's this saying? It seems to be saying that on the web page there's some kind of server error. So let's go and see whether we can debug that. The way we're going to do that, just reminding myself of how that goes. There you go. So we could try, so basically that's because the admin site is not yet set up, and so the way we activate the admin site is again in our settings.py. So just like we had to activate the FTs app, we have to activate the admin site app. So in settings.py, installed, and we've got these two lines. Django is helpfully telling us with some comments what we need to do. Django.contrib.admin. So let's try that. Does that make it? Still not. So at this point, it's not very helpful, is it, this error message? It just says there's an error. So one of the things that we can do when this kind of thing happens is we can try and fire up our own version of the test client and try and do it manually. Or we can insert a little sleep into the Selenium test and have a little pause in there. So this is something we often do in tests. In testing, is because the little Firefox pops up so quickly, it's sometimes nice to just have it stop and take a look at what it was actually doing. Ding, 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 ding. Yep. And so we find ourselves doing this an awful lot of the work, is that when we've got a test that's not quite passing, we're not sure why, and we want to check it out, a little time.sleep there, and you can take a look at Selenium's browser window and go and have a look manually at what's going on. So let's see what happens if we do that. So I put a little time.sleep, and I've put it just before my failing assertion. Do-do-do, do-do-do. Zip. Yeah, it should be Selenium 2. It's 2.20. Yeah, there's no Java. In WebDriver, it just talks directly to the browser. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo. Okay. So the server error there is basically because the final bit of configuration we need to do in our admin site is set up the admin URLs. So you've got one more new file that we've never seen before, is urls.py. So we've looked at settings.py, which is one place that all your site settings live, and this is a new file, urls.py, and urls.py is the way that Django gets from a URL that someone's typed into the browser to a function that's going to deal with that user's sort of browser request. And so similarly, to activate the admin, there's a couple of sort of default setup Django views that are going to deal with that. So we've got 3 lines that we need to uncomment in here. Dig, 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 dig. Ta-da! And now when it pops up, you should see that it's all working properly. And there's the familiar Django administration page. Ta-da! And that's me with a little typing error there, but we should actually get this down to the file. So tests.py. I can't spell Django administration. Cannot spell. Try it again. Oh, have I got the sleep still? FG, probably get rid of that time.sleep now. Up. Finish me! Okay, so that's as far as I... So how did I get it going from a server error to this properly passing thing? I did 2 bits of admin site configuration. One is in settings.py. Settings.py. And so I uncomment this line in settings.py at line 123. That's the first step. If I actually, I can probably do. And then the second thing I do, comment down, is in urls.py. Link. Is I've uncommented 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, in urls.py. So if you do that, we should get to the self.fail finish me, which looks like. Ta-da! Okay, so who's got that far? There you go. All right, that's pretty much. Is that a hand in every single table? Is anyone? You guys are still struggling over there. Yeah, it's, I'm not sure I can debug that. How about over here? Are you guys all caught up? So is that everyone caught up? Hands up who's not caught up. Those guys are not caught up. Who's not getting this nice finish me method? You're all there. Okay, so we can move on. Let's see. Yes! Who thinks I'm going too slowly? Yes. Oh, there you go. Okay. Well, the important thing is that we're all getting through it. So, okay. Okay. So we've now got, let's just BD this one. So we've got a little Django administration. So the next thing we want to do is sort of be able to log into the admin site and look around and create a poll. Now, for anyone that hasn't seen the Django administration site, or whenever we're using a sort of third-party module and we want to run some Selenium tests, it's helpful to have a look around manually to see what we want Selenium to do. So the way we can do that is by running the test server. Ding, 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 ding. That's far too far in history. So Control-L, Python, manage.py, run server. And we'll go to our little local host here. Dink. Do, do, do. And I can't use the mouse. Control L. Good. Shoop. So just like the test does, we go to the admin site, and we should get this error. So this is running a manual test server, and it's saying no such table Django session. So that's weird. How come when I run the Selenium test it's perfectly happy, but when I try and do the Python manage.py run server and do it manually, it's all moaning about database errors? That's weird. The reason for that is because your tests use a separate database to your sort of real-life database, which is a good idea. Because when you're running tests, you probably want to blow away all the data in your database, change it, add and remove all sorts of objects, and you don't want that happening in the real database. Quite apart from this, if you're running tests, you probably probably run them on a different server to your real production server, but anyway. And so the point is that the sort of normal database is not set up. And the way we set it up is with another one of these little Django commands, and the command is called syncdb, which says to Django, set up the database, create all the tables that we need. So let's do that. Hello. Yeah. And then destroyed. Oh. Yeah. MySQL database, yeah. So the name of the test database that it uses in MySQL is something like test underscore and then the name of your database, if I remember correctly. So it creates a new, brand new schema in MySQL, a brand new database. Yeah. So and then it drops. Yeah. So you'll need to give your you need to give the Django process a username and a password that has the permission to create a test database, a new database. Yeah. Exactly the same type with the same tables and everything, but a different database. Is that clear? Okay. So the question there was like, what does it call the database if you're using MySQL instead of SQLite? And so it creates a database called tests, I think, underscore, and then the name of your database. So you, if you're running tests on MySQL, you have to give a username and password to Django that it has the permissions to create an extra database schema. All right. So let's go and do that. Let's go and create a little database. So that's Python manage.py syncdb. Up. And so this is, oh, you guys can't see that. Okay. Python manage.py syncdb. And so you're creating tables. So in the background, whenever we run our live server test case, Django is actually doing this for us. It's creating a brand new database with all its tables. These are all the tables for the authentication stuff that we need for the admin site. And it's now telling us, would you like to create an admin user? And so I think, yes, we would, so that we can try out the admin site. So I'm going to hit yes. The username I'm going to put, and make sure you do exactly this. The username I'm going to put is admin. All right, the email address, you can put what you want here. I like to use the email address a@b.com. Yes. Okay, and for the password, I'm going to use the ultra-secure ADM1N. Okay, ADM1N. Oh yeah, ADM1N. And so make sure you use exactly that username and password, because otherwise we'll see for later. Okay, so that's now done. It's set up the database. We've created an admin user. Let's try doing our little run server again and see if this time we can't actually log in. F5. Ta-da! We can try logging in. Admin, use password ADM1N, log in. Hooray! And so that is the Django admin site, everyone. We've actually not only configured Django, we've actually got the admin site up and working. We're able to log in, and you can start to see what the admin site looks like. As promised, there's the Django administration heading. And so what we want to do next in our little Selenium test is do exactly this, is log in with a username and password and assert that we actually managed to log in successfully. Is everyone able to get run server and see this page? syncdb, run server, yes? Have you guys got it? Yes. You guys can log into the admin site? So that's a no then. Oh, okay. 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 Što jeszcze fałte? Blind. What time do you want to do the... Che ora vuoi fare lo break, la pausa? Sì, arriva tra 10 minuti allora. Ok. Okay. Site administration. Who's got that? Hands up, who's got this stuff working? One, two, 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 two. These guys are struggling. How about you guys over here? How you doing? Okay. Oh, yeah, so go database.sqlite. Yeah. Point SQLite. I mean, it's just a file name, so you can call it whatever you like, and I like to call it database.sqlite. That's fine. I'm sure capitals will be fine as well. Yay! And so yes. and then admin, ADMY, admin, and then give any old email address. I like a@b.com because it's not going to email you today. And how about over there? Any luck fixing that Firefox GTK thing? Ah, shit, that sucks. There you go. So what can we do now? All right. So have you got it running as well? So have you already created the admin user further up? So can you log on to the web? If you do a run server, does it work? Yeah. Site matching query. Ah, for fuck's sake. So there is something a little bit weird with this. So somebody else was telling me about this problem. If you go into your settings.py, and so you've got it working, fantastic. And then search for sites in here, /sites, SITES. I don't know. Are you using Vim, or is that what text editor is this? Okay. So fine. See if you can switch off the Django.contrib.sites app, and it might be okay. Sites, SITES. Sites. No. Sorry, mate. Just sites. Yeah. I'll let you type SITES. Okay. See if you can switch that one off. Yeah. Put a hash. Comment it out. There you go. Okay, fantastic. See, can you log in? Do you have the username and password? Okay. In that case, one way you can fix this, whenever you have problems with your database, you can just delete it in SQLite, and it'll create a new one for you. So Control C, rm database.sqlite, rm for delete, and then I think it's called database.sqlite. Can it tab complete? Try that. Okay, and I'll do a syncdb again. And now it'll ask you for it. There you go. And what the hell? Unknown locale. Locale settings. Whoa, you have to do sort of like locale gen for UTF-8. That's going to be beyond me. All right. And over there you're behind. All right, so it looks like you guys in 4 are probably just going to have to share along with this guy, okay? There are some problems I just can't debug. How you guys? You're doing fine. You've got it over here. Everybody else is fine. Okay. If you've got the only working version, can you move into the middle so everyone can share your computer? And I think that'll be the best way of doing it. Okay. All right, so the last thing I want to get working before we go for a break is we want to actually get Guido to log into the admin site with a username and password and start looking around. So, the way we'll do that is we're going to go in first. So we saw to log in, there was a sort of username box and a password box, and we're going to want to type into them. So I'm going to show you how you do that with Selenium. So first of all, let's find the username field equals self. Oh, what happened there? Sorry. How about that? Self.browser.find element by tag name. We're going to not use tag name by name, and its username. Okay, so there's a new Selenium method, find element by name, and if you know your HTML, there's not many elements that have a name attribute. The only ones really are sort of form input fields. And so that's where we're going to do that. Find element by name, so that's the only thing that's really useful for, is finding username fields. And into the username field, we want to type in your username. So we've got username field dot, and then there's the send keys method. And the keys we want to send is admin for the username to yank yank. And we're going to do the same for the password. Change to underscore. Password field. Change word password. And here, security. All right, there we go. And he logs in. doop. 2 yank yank. Okay. And so that's how it'll check that the login has worked. When you go first onto the screen before you log in, it says Django administration. After you log in, it also says site administration. So that's our little test that we can log in successfully. Yes. Yeah. So far I've showed by tag name, by name, and then there's find element by CSS selector is exactly right, and find element by XPath is the other useful one. We do some CSS selectors in the second half. Okay. Ding, 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 ding. All right. And when you run this, you'll find it doesn't work. Someone looking nervous, they're going, oh, shit. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we actually have to submit the form. Thank you. So there's one more thing we need to do, which is actually submit the form. There's several ways you can do that. I'm going to submit the form by hitting enter in the password field. And I think to do that I need sort of from selenium.webdriver.common import keys. It's something like that. I'm going to double check. .common.keys, okay. Okay. So Selenium also lets you click on things. I'm going to do that this afternoon, but for now, I can't be bothered to find the element where you actually click submit. So instead, I'm just going to hit enter in the password field. Now, when you're doing send keys, the selenium.sendKeys method is really, really useful. In the old days of Selenium, it would basically send keys by sort of manually firing JavaScript events on the browser, and that was a real pain because one of the great things about Selenium is it does test sort of what happens in JavaScript as well as just the static HTML. And when a user types into a field, that fires several JavaScript events. You get a sort of key down, and a key up, and a key press, and an on change, and a bunch of other stuff. And in the old Selenium, if you wanted to test some JavaScript that was expecting, say, an on change event or a key up, you had to, as well as sending some letters, you had to actually manually go self.selenium.browser.fire event, sort of key up, which is the right pain. But in the new version, with the magical WebDriver, send keys actually sends real key presses, which has all the associated JavaScript events. So that really is like a human's actually properly typing into that box. And as a result, when you want to send some special characters, like you want to send a control something or whatever, Selenium gives you this sort of keys class to send special characters like enter. And once you've got that, it's still not going to work. Let's try it out though. No, oops, the wrong one. You guys hadn't quite finished typing there. Okay. You got an okay? Ah, that's interesting. Maybe that's something to do with... Yeah, we can ignore that, though. The template does not exist error is not a problem. Okay. So from somewhere, maybe I've left in the Git repo a bunch of... I've left the fixtures in there, maybe. So that could be my fault. So it was tree. No? Okay, I'm going to try it now. This is what you should see. But yours is parsing. That's very strange. You have that error, but you don't. maybe you have, you know, sort of leapt ahead and done some advanced stuff. Will you show me a tree inside your... Yeah, no, you haven't got the... I wonder how that would be. That's magic. Ah, so yeah, that's fine, because you're missing the last assertion, which is that we want to check this body and self.assert in. So if you duplicate these two lines, and then check for site administration. Let me show you that. So it's these lines here. And that's where it should be failing. Okay. So when you actually run this test, you should see an error saying that the username and password were not accepted. Who's getting that? Ding, 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 ding. What about you guys? Are you seeing the username and password not accepted? Oh. Okay, show me that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So we've definitely got password, send keys, keys.enter. Put a short time.sleep of sort of 3 seconds in between the password field. And put it after this enter.
After?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And let's try it again. One, two, three. Okay, so sometimes Selenium is just a bit too quick and the page hasn't finished loading. Maybe I'll talk about this later. If there's a command in Selenium called implicitly wait, so if you edit the tests, let's do it now. Yeah, I want to continue for about 10 minutes and then we'll have the break. Oh, okay, because there's an official coffee break. Oh, yeah, cool. Okay, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, if you go self.browser.implicitly-wait, self.browser. I think it's implicitly or implicit. Implicitly wait equals make it 3. That's the number of seconds. And then I get rid of the time.sleep and see if that fixes it. Do 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 do. Fantastic. Okay. All right. So who has any idea why that's failing? We set up the user with the correct admin ADM1N. Why is that not working? Exactly, it's a different database. The test database is different from the database we did earlier. And so this is a really important thing about testing, is you sometimes want some pre-prepared data in your test database. For example, we would like the admin user to already exist. And so the way, or one of the ways that you can do this with Django tests is a thing called fixtures, which are test data, typically in JSON format. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our admin user from the real database, and we're going to sort of copy him into the test database using a fixture. So let me show you how we do that, which is going to take about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to send you guys off for the break. Okay? Ding, 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 ding. Shh. I don't know. I know fixtures work, I don't know about template databases. Okay. So, to generate a fixture, we use yet another little manage.py command, and it's called dump data. So dump data will dump data in your database. And so you could actually just do that, and it goes... all we really want, though, is the data about our user account. So dump data takes an app, and I can go auth.user. And in fact, if I then go -- indent equals 2, so Python manage.py dump data auth.user. Optionally, you can have -- indent equals 2, and that's going to give us a nice little JSON representation of our admin user, and it's got the password nicely hashed in there. Okay, so I'm going to take that data and I'm going to put it in a file. The files live in a directory called fixtures inside each of your apps. So my FTs app is going to have some fixtures, which includes this auth user. So I'm going to do mkdir ft/fixtures. And then I'm going to have my manage.py dump data. I'm going to pipe that into ft's/fixtures/auth.json. Okay, just check that that's worked. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, and now all I need to do is tell my actual test to load that fixture each time. And I do that by adding a sort of class attribute to my test called fixtures. Oops. Okay. So any sort of Django test class can have this fixtures, which is you can have a list of file names for some encoded data. You don't have to use JSON. You can use XML. There's other formats, and it's a list of them, so you can have multiple fixtures in your tests. And it's also clever enough to go and find them in the correct folder. So because this is a test in FTs, it's going to look automatically in a folder called fixtures in there. So what? Sorry. Yeah, because updates its own fixtures or something. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you think that'll be the same list? Oh, hey, shit, that's a really good point. Okay, why not? Dink. I mean, thing is, you wouldn't. Oh, because then if you had an abstract test class. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It could be. Good thought. You could find a little bug against the Django documentation for that. You could mention that's worthy of a bug report for the Django docs, because that's probably quite a good idea. Let's see if it works. Do. Ta-da! And so that was my objective for getting to the end of the break. The fixture loads, it can log in, it finds the site administration, and it gets on to finish me. Okay, shall I show you? What do I need to show you to get? Let's do it. Yeah, we can ignore that. Okay, so this is what we had to do. Make dir FT's fixtures. Python-manage.py dump data auth.user to that fixtures auth.json. Add the auth.json to our little test class, which I'm going to show you now. Wonder if we can do sort of head or something of ft/tests. Dink. Yes. Ha. Pleased with that. Add fixtures equals auth.json. And that should now be working. All right, so that's my objective, is to all get you to the stage where it says finish me, and then it's off to coffee break, which I think lasts for about 45 minutes. In the second half, we're going to create our first unit test, our first model, and that should take, I'm thinking, about half an hour. And then I'm going to skip ahead, and we're going to do the real website with a real view and less authentication. Okay, so... ta-da! Self.fail, finish me. That's what I want to see. Okay, so anyone that's happy that they've got this already can just go for coffee. Anyone who's left in the room, I'm going to help. Anyone that's got any questions, I'm going to hang around here and answer some questions.
This is the only way to have test data, because usually in our database, we're doing testing with selenium 1 and so 3.
Yeah.
But we have a pretty huge amount of test data to work with a lot of things.
Yeah. Fixtures are a bit slow.
It's slow.
Yeah. And so you've got another solution?
I don't know.